Hey YouTube! So I had something else planned for this week, but then Strng got an update adding AUV3, and it came with an amazing demo from Perplexon that it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, I want to play with that this week, so I'm playing with this right now. And this is a string synthesis app from humbleTUNE that's using the Strng synthesis model, which is just taking a noise source and then running it through a whole bunch of delay lines. And it does this in a beautiful interface that makes all of the complex stuff behind Strng easily manipulated on these colorful graphs and stuff like that. Like everything is in here. It's just presented in a way that's easier to work around. So that is what I'm going to be doing in this Let's Play video. Start off, this is what you get when you launch the app. Just a pleasant sort of sound. And you see that as I'm playing keys, we've got this vibrating thing right here. And this is our string tension, which is basically a representation of how the delay lines are taking our noise source, which is this thing right here, which I can increase. That's a bigger noise source. And I can also change the crush. So you see how right now it's crushed hard. So we've got these very sharp aliased lines. And if we reduce the crush, it becomes less aliased. And so this is our noise that's going through all these delays. And we can actually listen to that now. The update also lets you add in the noise. So that's what we're actually generating when I hit a key. And then it's going through all these delay lines. I'm going to turn that off, though, because that's where the magic happens. Oops. And we can adjust this tension here. And now we're at this point where it's just this barely audible thing. Like you might not even be able to hear this if you're not listening on good headphones. We're just hearing a little hiss of that noise source. Like it actually sounds exactly like this, but very quiet and very short. So before the update that came out this weekend, that would have been all you could do with that, was just make that when it's set to 100% string tension. But now we've got this saturator here. The label is a wave shaper. It's a saturator. So we're going to saturate the shit out of this little hiss. And reduce this to just like a small little noise source. And now we get this awesome plucking. Like, damn, that is cool. Like, that's all I did to make this noise. You make a small noise source, because when we got a long sample, we just get a lot of that. You can still kind of hear the pluck in that. Like, here, let me make this about 50% note length. You can still kind of hear the pluck, or the qualities of the timbre that we're generating the pluck with. But if we've got just a tiny little noise source that's getting sent through these high tension delays, we get a really great plucking sound. And over next to this, we've got a filter for the noise. So this is what the noise sounds like right now. It is basically that pluck. Actually, all right, so it sounds something like that. And we can filter that by changing the frequency and the resonance. And now we can tilt this to either be, like right now it's in a band pass. We can tilt it to be a high pass. To find a tone that we're looking for. And that sounds really cool right there, so I'm going to leave it right there. And next to all of that is the delays. So as I said, that this is a noise source that we're running through a whole bunch of delays, and this is a way to control those by saying how much delay and by what amount. So, and we can do this in a stereo spectrum right here. So right now I'm screwing around with the right one. You can hear it. There's a very long delay between. Let me reduce the left. So that's fun. We can bring up the left and do. It's kind of a feedback loop there. But we can do things to change the amount. And now we're getting entirely new timbres. So our pluck has turned into this bigger, like no hands, right? Like this one note is now making this huge thing because we're sending it through just a whole lot of delays. And that is intensely amusing to me. Try reducing the saturation just to hear what it sounds like without it. Yeah, once again, because we've got it maxed out tension, we don't hear anything. If we bring this down, though, we have a much more traditional sort of string synthesis sound, which is also quite good. We can kind of blend in a little bit of both. Ooh, that's a little bit gnarlier than I intended. And we saw previously how changing the size of our noise sample had an impact on things, so let's try it now. Let's also try screwing around with the filter. I actually really like it when it's all the way over there on high pass mode. I'm going to reduce the resonance a bit. Trying to be gentle with your ears. I'm sorry if I fail at any point here. There's also this detuner here, which we can change the amount and frequency. So, really gentle LFO is making a big impact on this. I think the wave shaper is making it still a little too gnarly, so I'm pulling that down some more. Well, the saturation was amusing me very much when we were doing a tight pluck sound, but now that I'm making this huge sound, I think that's just making it too it's too warm basically by being just layers of grit. So let's just try to make a pretty sound right now. Let's try now changing the crush and smooth this out. It's like laser beams. Try slightly lower. sound of that. All right. Let me think about how I want to proceed from here, because that actually went in its own direction. There's also this LFO filter. I'm just going to show it briefly here. We can screw around with the left. I'm going to make the left filtered 100% here, and we control it once again with one of these little dots here. Give it a little bit of the right here. Just trying to create some stereo separation here. That's amusing, but it's not what I'm going for, so I'm going to deactivate both of those. I wanted to show you, now that this is in an AUV3, we can just load it up into OM, as I have here, and load it up with AUV3 effects. So this is what it sounds like on its own right now. And now let's throw in Rat Shack, which is the audio damage reverb that's itself based on delays. It's doing like a bucket brigade thing where it's just a whole lot of delays and changing the amount of delay and the time and the feedback and all that will create the illusion of reverb. So that's what this sounds like now. Let me add some differences here. So we've got delays on delays and delays for days. I think the thing I like so much about this is that we're taking just noise, just like this is what we start off with, just noise, and we're tweaking it in these ways that add layers of that essential noise and then create an entirely new thing out of that. It's like I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it in a metaphor because it's so complex, but it works, and it makes just great and unique tones, like just unique as hell tones, and we can just change them at any time by tweaking any of these basic things that we've been working on. Like there, all I did was change the length of our initial noise source, and it changed the tone. Change the filtering. Like that just made it really, really muddy. But if we boost the resonance of that. That saturator does make things just a little too muddy, but God, I love the warmth that it adds. See what happens when I crank this up to audio rate. Oh, dude. Go back into Rat Shack here now and play with that a little bit. It's a little hard to tell what Rat Shack's doing in here since it's just so many different layers of delays right now, but this is what it sounds like dry. And that's what Rat Shack's adding. I think that I've exhausted. I mean, there's an interesting ADSR in here that's kind of reversed. So instead of going up to make more of a thing, going down makes more of a thing. So we have a hell of a lot more release going down here. Pump the sustain. Give it just a touch of attack. Very haunting sort of like with all the extra reverb and layers, it sounds like a very haunting kind of hall. You don't want to go down that hall. Like there's something wrong down there. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much to all my Patreon patrons who make these videos possible. Take it easy, folks.